Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I'm not supposed to be recording another video now until after Christmas, but I just got the most exciting parcel in the post and I can't wait to open it, so I'm going to record it now, but you won't see this till after Christmas, so I hope you had a good one. I hope I had a good one. It's freezing today. I've been sitting here in my padded fleecy jacket, but I thought I'd take it off to do my filming, but I've got my fluffy socks on and I have got my pom-pom blanket. Now, this parcel, I can't believe how quickly they got it to me because I only ordered it, I don't know if it was only yesterday or the day before at the earliest. I can't believe it's already got to me, what with all the Royal Mail problems and everything. This has come from a company I really love called Bazaar, B-A-Z-A-A-R, not bizarre, Bazaar. I first came across them when I went down to the knitting and stitching show at Alexandra Palace 2 or 3 years ago. They make these wonderful, they do all kinds of amazing stuff, but what I was really drawn to, what really brought out my inner magpie, was their scrap bags. They call them scrap bags. I think they should call them treasure bags because they are just full of wonderful stuff. So they've been working for years and years with people over in India, and I love that they have a real genuine fair trade approach to the people they work with in India, and everything they do is as sustainable as it can be. It's all very ethically sound, and I just love the stuff. I love their stall was just amazing. I will leave links to them, of course. I believe they even do workshops as well, but I don't know, maybe next year I will be able to, if they're still doing them, I will be able to get to one because they just look so inspiring. Anyway, enough rambling on about them. I'll probably ramble on a bit more while I'm doing this opening, but it's going to take a long time because these scrap packs, which cost £12.50 each, they come in 5 different colourways, so I ordered one of each because I've got an exciting new project to start in the new year, so that's my excuse, because I haven't got any fabric. Okay, most of you watching this will know I don't need to explain the fabric addiction. Let's go to the desk, and oh, I'm so excited. Now I forgot, I keep going to open and then I'm just teasing you, aren't I, because then I start chatting again. I forgot, if you order over, I think it's only over £30, you can get free postage, but you have to put a free postage code in, which is right there when you start ordering, you know. It's not hard to find. But I forgot to put it on. I got so excited when I was ordering, I just forgot to use the code. So I did mention that in an email to them, and they very kindly put in a couple of little extras, they said, to make up for it, which is very generous of them because it's my own stupid fault for not putting the code in. And they can't, you know, once you've then gone in and paid by PayPal and stuff, they don't, you know, can't. So I just thought it was a really nice thing. They're just such lovely people to talk to as well. Yeah, they genuinely believe in doing what they do in the fairest possible way. And yeah, now one of the things that first struck me is that they use this compostable mailer, which is brilliant. You know, why doesn't everybody do that? Maybe it costs a little bit more, but I think it's worth it. I might actually keep this compostable mailer because I've talked about doing a fabric swap with Jackie. Why Jackie? So it could go in here. Now look at that, this is obviously made to be able to use again, because look, this has already been stuck down once and I've cut along there, and now I can use it again. So it's not only compostable but easily usable again, which is great. So shall I stop waffling? Shall I stop waffling and get inside? Oh look. So we've got make sure I'm not leaving anything in there. So there's a compostable mailer on the outside, and then this beautiful bag on the inside. Oh, isn't that lovely? These are where I bought, when you buy the individual scrap packs, they come in these lovely bags made out of recycled saris. I've divided up the scraps that I've got into silks and cottons and things, and I've reused the bags obviously, but they're just lovely, aren't they? When I met them at the show, oh, I need my blanket back. Oh, when I met them at the show, I said, well, if I'm buying 2 scrap packs, can I have 2 bags? And they're very kind and let me have 2 bags. That's so, yes. So here is the bag. Now they do use this plastic. I've asked about this before, and sometimes you just can't, because of the way it's got to be processed and everything, you can't avoid using plastic. But they are recycled plastic already. They've used them before. I will use them again. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but they do keep it to a minimum. Here's their compliment slip. Thank you for shopping with Bazaar. We hope you like the gift bag. They're made from upcycled saris. Very much resonates with me, their whole approach to the way they do business, the things they sell, and the way they package and process and everything. Just, yeah. Oh, what's this? I don't know what it's for. It's just like a little decorative. I suppose I could use it as like a bookmark or something. Hang on, if I can get it to focus. Isn't that lovely? In between here, look at these. Oh, they put these in as an extra. That was because I forgot to use the free postage code, so they said we'll put in a couple of treats for you to make up for it. So that is lovely. A couple of them are Christmassy, so you could make lovely wrapping paper or something like that with them, or little gift tags or whatever. And then these are more sort of generic. I love these wood print, and I've got one of the projects I've got in mind is going to be, for the new year, is going to be using these, and some others that I've already got. So I love them. I love the feel and the look of them. I would have them as ornaments. So this is all about them. So they tell you how to use it. Soak it in a glass of water for a few minutes and dab dry with a cloth. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Excellent. Yeah, some useful tips there. Fantastic. I will look forward to giving those a go. Let's first of all have a quick look at what it says on here. So bearing in mind, these are still, they've been £12.50 for ages, and they're still £12.50. And as I say, free postage if you spend over, I think it's over £30. So, and I've got every single one. So I've had quite a few of these bags now. Every single one has been worth every penny, and every single one is absolutely unique. Their team put these scraps together, so each individual person on the team will have a slightly different way of doing it. And I loved that Jo, who she said they do it in a feeling way. So they just do it by feel, what feels right to put in. You just basically choose a colourway and they put it together, and I love it. It's a lovely surprise. I'm so looking forward to getting into these. So it says bags of scraps, mix of mostly cottons and silks, some hand block printed, hand woven, hand machine and embroidered, for those who love to make and mend. Yeah. And yeah, Jo told me a little bit more, because so I wasn't sure if they were new fabrics that were like kind of factory rejects or something, or pre-worn clothes, or a mixture or whatever. It turns out they kind of are a mixture. So what Jo said was that some of them will be things they've actually worn themselves, or things that they've had as samples at the fairs and things that they do. Sometimes things get damaged and then they might end up in a scrap pile, but sometimes some of them are like bits off the factory floor kind of thing. Some of the those kind of things they use to actually pack there, because they bring lots of handicrafts and things. I mean, have a look at their shop after you watch this. Have a look at that shop. It's just and when you see it in person, it's even better. I lost my thread now. Yeah, so they transport all sorts of stuff in big containers over from India, and so they use these scrap fabrics to kind of pack into the containers to protect everything, to pack around the more delicate items. So then they all get chucked in the scrap pile. And I'd love to be one of the people who's got the job of putting these bags together. I mean, I guess maybe you get bored with it after a while. I don't know. I think it would take quite a while for me. Oh, I'd be like a pig in the proverbial. I won't say it, but you know what I mean. Okay, I really am going to shut up now and get into this. I'm always keeping myself in suspense on purpose. I'm going to take this top one, this green one. get the others out of the way, and I'm just going to get this noisy plastic off first, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I'm all ready now to open this up. I've got a lovely little surprise to tell you about at the end of this video, so don't let me forget to tell you. I'm very excited. Okay, so I wonder if I can bring you down a little bit more. Oh my word, look, it's an A. It's an A for Annie. That must be complete coincidence. Oh, I think I might just turn that into a necklace. Or I could dangle it off a bag or something. Isn't it lovely? That's amazing. No, they can't have picked it out because they knew that was in there and I'm Annie. No, that's ridiculous. It's obviously just a really happy coincidence. I love that. That's so beautiful. That's so me as well. And look at this. So you get a mixture of these fabrics, different weights of fabrics, mostly silks and cottons, and you get a few little doodads as well that sort of tone in with the mixture of colours that you've got. Look at this. I've never had one of these before. What's that made of? Some sort of resin or something, I'm not sure. But isn't it adorable? Oh, I've already had £12.50 worth of fun out of this one. Now, I had one of these before. I love these little things. I really ought to have a go at making some myself actually, but how much work is there in that? But I have got a lot of little, I love it. It's got, I don't know if you can hear, it's got bells somewhere. Oh there, these are tiny bells. See, I'd actually make these kind of things into long strings of beads I could actually wear. I love that kind of thing, or just hang up somewhere. Maybe I'll have to make another lot of bunting. Oh, I'll also leave, in case you haven't seen them before, I did a whole series called Boho Bunting, and there's a playlist for it. I'll leave a link to the playlist. It was just such a brilliant way to use all these kinds of things, and if you've got all kind, you've got scraps to use up, yeah, check that out, because it was a really fun project to do. Then there's one celebrating 61 quilt as well. I used a lot of these fabrics for that too, so I'll try and remember to leave links for all those things. But yeah, the Boho Bunting one and the celebrating 61 both use these fabrics. Love that. Lovely little packet of mixed beads and things. I think Joe explained that sometimes a few things get broken or they come off of garments or whatever, and they all get scooped up. They just don't waste anything, and I love that. I love that. It's just, I know it's I'm raving about them because I just think they're such a brilliant, I love everything about the company. And you know me, I don't, I wouldn't be raving if I didn't mean it. I should probably take them out of the plastic to show you, but I'm too lazy. I want to keep them in the plastic so I don't lose them for a minute. And so I won't undo all of this, but so you can see this is a little bundle. Wouldn't it be a great way just to wrap up gifts and things in a sustainable way? Yeah. And look how much you pay for gift wrapping and things that you throw away. £12.50. Just saying. We don't use a lot of wrapping paper and stuff in our house. We use recycled Amazon packaging. We have Who Gives a Crap toilet paper, and they come in paper wrappers, and they're really pretty, so we keep all that, and we wrap presents in that as well. Or if it's already in an Amazon bag, what's the point of taking it out of the Amazon bag and wrapping it in paper that you're then gonna throw away? So we don't believe in it. But wouldn't it be nice to get a gift wrapped in something like this? Gift bags are okay because you can use them over and over, can't you? Oh, I had some of this before. I love this fabric. I'm glad I got some of that again. It's a slightly bigger piece of it this time. The pieces vary a lot in size. I love this one. It is one of my favourites, and I've got to try and get the camera to focus on it so you get the texture. I've got a slightly better camera now than I used to have, so yeah, you can sort of see there. So lovely. It's quite a sturdy fabric. I might have to try another Kuandi quilt now. I'm addicted to doing that. This is beautiful, this fabric. Oh, I do like that. Cotton, I think. It's kind of semi-sheer. The parts of it are you can really see through. but the fibres are relatively coarse, but it feels really soft. I wonder if it is a kind of silk. Is it like a raw silk or something? It's got that feel. One thing you never get is anything kind of really sort of synthetic or whatever. I mean, you know, like obviously that is, and there's odd bits that are, but not like nasty. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Kawandi quilting, some of these would be lovely, wouldn't they? The silks might be a bit tricky, but some of the cottons would be good. Love that colour. I love the little sequin and embroidered detail. I need to speed up a bit, don't I? I've got 5 of these to go through. Some of these fabrics I recognise because I have had them before. I recognise this one definitely. 2 layers of that. It looks like it's been cut from a sleeve or something. It looks like block printed, doesn't it? Love it. Again, Kawandi material, definitely. Shame I haven't got my boho bunting's downstairs. It's in the conservatory now. If I think about it, I'll put a photo of it on at the end, and I will remember to leave the link to it. Beautiful silk. I'm speeding up a bit now. Just a bit. This is lovely. Look at that. Oh, I love. Now there is obviously some. This is what I mean by you do get some with, there's obviously synthetic in it, but it's not nasty synthetic. It's beautiful. Kind of needs layering over something, doesn't it? To oh wow, there are just so many things you can do with this, with these fabrics. You know, apart from the obvious quilting, because I'm into Kawandi quilting at the moment. You could cover books with them. You could make little bags with them. You could make clothes with them. You can make some lovely clothes with them. But you know, patch them together and yeah, cushion covers, little fabric bowls, purses, dolls. Oh yes, I've got my soft body doll half done. I could make her. She could definitely go. She could be a bit of a hippie chick. She probably already is, actually. This is lovely. I love the texture in that. A sort of sharing. A couple of buttonholes. I always like, you know, when you get the buttonholes and things, I like to use them in, you know, you could always lay them over something as well, so something peeks through. I love all that. It just adds interest to it. And it's nice to get a few plain pieces like this as well, because you do sometimes need that. That feels slightly, it feels like a slight cotton with a slight stretch to it. Cotton jersey, what do you call that? Don't let me forget to tell you about the little surprise at the end. This is lovely. Now this is, what a beautiful colour. The camera isn't really, the camera's making this look much duller than it is. It's a more vibrant, it's just a much more vibrant green. Slightly yellower than it looks, slightly less blue than it looks on the camera. And that's 2 layers of fabric there. 2 layers of quite almost sheer fabric there. Cotton again. And I should mention, by the way, although these fabrics are well travelled and rescued and all sorts, but they all smell clean and, you know, not foisty, as we say in Norfolk. That's a lovely, I wonder that colour's, yeah, see that colour's not, it's almost like the camera's making everything slightly greyer bluer than it really is. That looks really quite dull, but in real life it's a lovely, I don't know how to describe it, like a dark leafy green. Beautiful texture to it. It would make some, it's like a really fine, it would make some lovely clothes actually for some kind of an art doll. I think that's where I'm going to end up going with that. I know who would love this. Johnny, just Johnny Creations, if you're watching, you'd love this. Green's his favourite colour. So that is the green. I'll put that there with the green bag that it all came in. Oh, I'm filled to bits already. So that's my first bag. I'm going to get another bag now, so I'll stop for a minute, stop filming for a minute. Okay, we're ready with the red. Ready with the red. And I'm already excited. Look how beautifully presented. It's a lovely piece of ribbon. I'm going to leave that in a bow for now. Gorgeous. So it's got elephants now. Which is the right way? That's probably the right way, isn't it? I don't know. I think it works either way. But anyway, it's an elephant on a red background. It's absolutely beautiful. There's no reason why you couldn't incorporate little pieces of this in a Kawandi quilt. I keep saying Kawandi, any kind of quilt. It's just that I've discovered Kawandi relatively recently, and I'm just addicted to it. I just love it. It feels so intuitive, you know. And these lovely little bird, I call them birds. I'm assuming they're meant to be birds because they look like birds to me, and they've got little bells on. So I could thread them together with some beads and things and make little hanging decorations. That would be nice. Maybe I won't put my white branches tree thing. I made this white branch. We don't have a Christmas tree, but I made this kind of white branchy thing out of fallen branches from the park, and so we bring it out at Christmas and hang whatever from it. And John brings home some holly and ivy and things when we put that up. But maybe I'll leave it up. Maybe it shouldn't just be for Christmas, because I could dangle things like this from it too. These are lovely. I love this kind of thing. So for you know, if you're making something like the boho bunting, they make a lovely focal point, or on a bag or a book cover. Yeah, so many things you can do with that. Love it, love it. I'm a sucker for this kind of thing. This looks like it actually looks like old. Oh, I'm just seeing it as part of maybe a spine of a book, part of a costume for an art doll, or oh look, I could just make it into a bracelet. So many things. It just always gets my creative cogs turning. This is folded very cleverly. I can't work out how to get into it. Okay, so this is the red pack. They're just a piece of almost like cheesecloth, I suppose, what we used to call cheesecloth. A couple of pieces of that. It's always good, like I say, to have some plain. You do need some plain. They're quite big pieces, so you can see if you were clever, you could put these together in pieces and make tops and things out of them. Definitely, and they'd be absolutely unique. Oh, I love this. Look at this. I'm seeing that as part of an art doll clothing as well. It's making me want to make one just to... You see the marks on this, it makes you wonder what it's been through. What has this little piece of fabric's journey been? Still didn't smell funny or anything. Oh, just a tiny piece in something as a focal point, you know. Just got a little bit of interesting embroidered detail there. Oh, this camera's not... It's making everything look a very strange colour. I promise you the colours are definitely more vibrant in real life than they are looking on my camera. Yeah, that's got to be machine done, hasn't it? But if so, it's a lovely texture, lovely detail. My mind's just racing with some of the things I could do with this pack. Oh, look at this one. This one feels like I've forgotten what it is you call this fabric. It's quite a sturdy fabric. Is it twill or something? I think you can probably see from there. It's a lovely shade of red. I'm definitely feeling some art dolls coming on, inspired by these fabrics. Oh, now this particular, I had a little piece of this fabric before, and when I did an unpacking, probably a year ago now, I said, oh, it just looks like, you have a look here, it just looks like there's no way this could have been done by machine. This must have been done by hand. Look at the stitch. I wonder if it'll focus on that stitching on the back. Hang on. Can you see that tiny stitching on the back? There's no way that could have been done anyway but by hand. So yeah, I mentioned that when I did an unbagging that last time. Joe or someone from Bazaar answered or left a comment to say, yes, you're right, they are done by hand. And if you look on there, they've got a YouTube channel as well and a website. If you check out their website, you can see they've got lots of photos and information about how some of these things are done and how they work with people in India. They've been going for years. I'm just loving this. This red pack is really speaking to me. I almost didn't go for red. I don't know why, really. In the end, I just thought I've got to have one of each. Don't even need to do anything with that, do I? I mean, not much. Make that into a bag really easily, couldn't you? Or a beautiful cover for an art journal, wouldn't it be? Or maybe my ideas journal. I don't want to risk getting any paint on it. That is just, I mean, it's just a beautiful piece in itself. Look at this. So it's got all of these different embroidered pieces are beautiful in themselves. And then in between you've got little trims and this kind of like a bundle of sort of woolen thread couched down in between the squares. And again, that's got to be done by hand, hasn't it? Blooming beautiful. Beautiful, as we say in these parts. So that's my red pack. Okay, so this is the pink pack now. Let's look at the little extras again first. Okay. So we've got a nice little trim. Always handy to have a little bit of trim like that. A couple of cowrie shells, some really pretty amber coloured beads on a little dangler. So I like making danglers to hang off my art journals. But actually, you know, just something to just hang, you know, as a pretty decoration. I don't know what that is, but it could easily become part of an art doll or something. Coconut shell button. Yeah, just a little handful of magpie treasures. So there's not so much in the way of the like doodads in this one, but it kind of feels like there's more fabric, doesn't it? So I think, as Jo said, they kind of do it by feel. They do what feels right, and they probably each have a very different style. I love this shade of pink. Wish everything would show up better on the camera. It's such a vibrant pink, this one. So that must be like the top of a skirt or something, I guess. But what I'm already picturing it as is something is part of the closure on an art journal or something like that. That's elastic. Is that like it's like a face cover, like a face mask, isn't it? A bit more comfortable than some of the ones I was wearing. Or a head, or was it a head thing? Okay, let's get into this fabric part. This is a pretty one. It's got a metallic thread running all through it. I'm sure you can see. And it's like a double layer of cotton. So I love this really fine, just plain, really fine cotton. That's good for all sorts of things with art dolls and stuff like that. Beautiful colours. Shirring elastic. Beautiful shades of magenta and purple in there with pops of blue, of yellow and green. Really pretty. Ooh, this looks kind of almost like tie-dye, doesn't it? It's not. It's like batik or something. I don't really know. It's a bit torn. This has been through the wars, this piece. I feel like I can see. Yes, there it is. So why is the mirror on the inside of that? Is the whole thing inside out? It's like oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, look. So you got a little bit of shisha embroidery, which I did try during my boho bunting adventure. I did do some shisha embroidery. Really enjoyed that. It's frustrating now because I haven't got time to do anything for the next few days. I haven't really got time to be opening this now, but hey ho. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, that's pretty. Such a pretty colour. It's more of a deep rose and less salmony than it looks on the screen to me. It looks like pants. I'm sure it's not. Oh, I'm just seeing that as put. So I think I need to be doing some art dolls because that's what keeps popping into my head. I go through phases with things, definitely. But whatever phase I'm in, I can always find a use for these. Ooh, look at that! Look at all the beads on this. It's absolutely heavy with beads. You can feel the weight of them. They catch the light beautifully. I don't know if the camera will be showing that very well. One of the things I really enjoyed doing is kind of what they've done here was but I did it without the beads, but embroidering into the pattern that's already on the fabric. So so like if it was that one, for example, just using that pattern that's printed on the fabric and using stitching to kind of enhance it. I really enjoyed doing that. Another nice kind of more sturdy heavyweight fabric, and a very pretty kind of shade of, well, brick. It's like more of a brick than it looks there. This one is very bright. I'd probably call this almost magenta, really. Lovely, one of my favourite colours. and a sheer fine cotton. You could sort of layer up. Oh, I thought that was going to be elasticy. It's not. It's kind of ruched though. Whatever you call that. I don't know what you call that. It's got lines of gathering thread, but they're not elastic. It's more like smocking almost, isn't it? But big piece of. This is huge. Really huge. It's probably the biggest piece I've seen in these. So definitely there's enough there to make a little top with, and then you could just patch some of these other pieces onto it, couldn't you? Another very pretty piece. Such a gorgeous pink. It's almost fluorescent, this one. And that one, it's a little bit darker than it shows up. The camera's showing that one a bit better actually. It's not too far off. It's perhaps a little bit darker in real life. What's this one going to be? Oh, pretty. Oh, look at that. Oh, isn't it lovely? You can make lovely little kind of needle books and things with these pieces as well, couldn't you? If I can bring myself to take it apart, that's the thing. Really, really lovely. Lovely. So that's my pink pile. Where did oh, there's the beads I got in that. This is the black one. Starting to run out of space now. It's just so let's look at the doodads first. Oh, what's that made of? Wood. It's like a really light wood, varnished wood. Well, I might hang this on my tree in a minute. My branchy thing. Hey, I'd use it for other things as well, but for now it could sit on the tree, couldn't it? Oh, look at this too. It's a two-headed bird. Oh, lovely. I've only got to put another piece of. I can see what it's stuffed with now. I did wonder. What is that? What is that it's stuffed with? It's a old polystyrene beads or something. I think we use a lot of stuff over there that we just trash, you know. I love this. It looks quite old because that fabric's really breaking up. Beautiful. I love this. Kind of, I don't know if it comes from the same area or not, or why it's reminding me of it, but it reminds me a little bit of these Rajasthani puppets that my mum brought back from India for me years ago, because mum was half Indian. No, mum was quarter Indian, so I'm eighth Indian. It doesn't show very much on me. And she brought lots of lovely things back, but she brought these Rajasthani puppets, so for some reason they're reminding me of that. Oh, look at this. Oh, I'll wear that just as it is. That's very me. Love it. But I mean, you could, otherwise you could take it apart and make something else with it, couldn't you? Definitely. Or it could become it could become part of an art journal for sure. I can imagine that too. I love it. I just love that. Okay, that's the doodads from the black box. Oh, we've got some this is like crinkly fabric. I don't know what it is. Like nice, very nice colours. You know what I might do with this? I've got my weaving loom that I haven't tried yet, and you know, you could actually incorporate this into some weaving, couldn't you? Or it could become part of some fancy tassels. That's another thing I did on the boho bunting. I made some tatty tassels. It could become part of that, or it could become strands in an art doll's hair. So many things you could do with that. Very lovely, lovely soft silk. That beautiful. Oh, this one's a bit different. This feels like wool or something. Definitely become part of some kind of creature. Just imagine the kind of things Johnny would be doing with some of these things. Some plain black, just fine cotton. Always good to have some of that, definitely. Oh, this is pretty. Look at that. Now, has this got a stretch? No. Now this is, I don't know what it's made of. Is it silk? Is it something? I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't decide what it's made of. Is that a synthetic? If it is, it's a nice feeling synthetic. It kind of almost looks different. What's that called where it looks slightly different when you catch it in a different light? It's almost doing that. Some kind of satiny stuff, black. Oh, we had some of this just now, I believe, in one of the other colours. But it's a lovely one. It's a really nice fabric to dot around a quilt or whatever. Or this one, love this. That's like this one, but the other part of the pattern. Lovely, it feels very, very soft, that one. More of that nice sort of semi-stretchy fabric. My head is absolutely buzzing now with the things I want to do with some of these. You'll know what I mean. If you're watching this, you'll know just what I mean. This is a kind of a, again, is it called twill? It's got that sort of diagonal weave to it. And it's quite a strong fabric. Another fine cotton that's sort of at least a couple of layers there. Nice neutral colour. And this one, this is the last piece out of the black black one. So that's elasticated. It's got elastic thread, shearing thread through it. Absolutely buzzing. Okay, so that all belongs to that one. I'm just going to get the last pack. Okay, so this is the last pack. This is the blue one. Oh, look. I could just make a little hangy decoration thing for in here, couldn't I? Just out of the doodads I've got in these packs. Isn't that lovely? Oh, look at fish. Now I'm Pisces as well, you see. These were meant to be mine. He's rather lovely, isn't he? And then we've got some tiny doodads running about loose in here. So there's, oh, a beautiful bead. And a little flower motif. A couple of those. There were a few of these sequins. I think a couple have landed on the floor. They're like really fancy sequins. And these, well, I haven't seen these before. Kind of metal, I guess you could stitch them on and then you would stitch a bead in on top of them. Hang on, a little bead would fit in on top of them there to make a little kind of flower. What I'm going to do is drop them in that bowl, I think, so I don't lose them. Oh, there's another one of those. What's this? Oh, it's got a corner like you get on the Kawandi quilts. A fuller. It's just like very similar anyway, similar idea. Now I don't know what this is. It looks almost like tie-dyed paper, doesn't it? I don't know what that is, and this is like split bamboo or something. I might be able to kind of work that into an art journal or something like that. I'll have a bit of a think about that one. Oh, another flower. I've got flowers everywhere. And then just some stitched kind of banding. It would have been drawstrings on clothing or whatever, I guess. Always useful. Okay, oh, another sequin. Let's get into the fabrics. Oh, look, I missed one of the beads. Another pretty. Okay, let's see what we've got in here. More sequins. Oh, this is a pretty one. Look at that. Beautiful. It's a deep blue grey in real life. It's nice colours. That's the kind I would probably embroider into the flowers there. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, look, piece of velvet. In two beautiful shades of blue. just some sort of fairly sort of coarser than some, not that really fine stuff, just sort of plain cotton. This is more like that, what I'm calling cheesecloth, but I don't think it is. Just a kind of slightly crinkly, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it feels nice. Oh, look at that. This looks like it would have been a cuff or something, doesn't it? One of the other things Joe said is that sometimes when they have things on display, you know, sometimes the shoulders will get faded and things, so then they end up in the scrap. But how brilliant to be able to reuse it like this rather than just dumping it, you know. Always have rusty colours with blue. It's a bit like Moroccan tiles or something, that one, doesn't it? Here's some more of that fabric I was showing you just now that looks, you know, the one that looks hand stitched, and in fact Joe confirmed is hand stitched. I'm glad I got a bit more of it. I won't be so precious about it now. And you could, because that layer it's stitched onto is sheer, you could lay it over another colour, I guess, as well. Oh, I didn't show that much. Or just lay it over more white even. Stitching, there's a lot of work in that. More of that fabric, I don't know what it's called. Oh, I love this one. Oh, look at that. And this, I think, is the very last piece. I've just knocked a bird on the floor. The very last piece. I like that both ways up. I don't know which. I think that's probably meant to be the right way. I've made a big old heap of stuff there. Can't see it. You can't see it all there, but I think fair to say I feel very much like I got my money's worth there, and it's just so much fun to open everything. In a minute I will once I finished filming, I will turn around and start going through it all again and reorganising it. I think what I did last time was I divided it up into silks, cottons and kind of heavier brocadey kind of fabrics, that kind of thing, and the doodads separately, and I might do that and incorporate it with the bits I've got left from previous packs. I just take stock of what I've got before I start my new projects in the new year. So I paid £12.50 a pack for them, and I had 5 packs, so that's £62.50 worth, and I think that's a good year's worth of fabrics for me to play with. Now, before I forget, let me tell you what the surprise is that I promised at the beginning. So I've been talking to Joe by email. Joe's the owner of Bazaar, and she's very kindly agreed to, she's going to provide a code. So Ella, who's on the team at Bazaar, is going to sort me out a code. So if you go to the description box below, you'll find a special code that Ella's going to give me, and if you use that code when you make a purchase from Bazaar, they're going to pop in an extra treat. Now, Bazaar being what Bazaar is, that's going to be a surprise. It's going to be unique. They don't have an infinite number of all the same stuff because of the nature of what they do. So it will be a surprise, but it will be something lovely because everything they do is lovely. I just thought that was such a lovely thing for Joe to offer. I'm really pleased. I hope so. Go over and check them out. See what you think. It's such good value anyway, and there's so much temptation on there anyway, but to get a little freebie surprise, a little extra treat for nothing is always nice, isn't it? So don't forget, if you do go over and buy something from there, don't forget to use that code. I think that's all I've got to say for now. I hope you enjoyed that. I love just opening the packs, let alone how much a joy it's going to bring me using all these beautiful things. And you know, the fact that they've all been rescued is just a bonus for me. So thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much, Joe and Ella over at Bazaar, for sorting out that code for us. I really appreciate that. I think that'll be lovely. Am I allowed to use the code myself? Because that would give me an excuse to buy some more. No, not yet. I think I've got enough to be going on with for a while. Okay, thanks again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.